if you watch hockey and you watch hockey often, the games can really be determined by how you start and also how you finish. And the really messed up thing about tonight is the Bruins did everything but those two things good. So let me just start at the start of the game. So, if you watch the last two games, you know that Tampa Bay getting a lead has been crucial in Tampa Bay winning because they have sat on their leads for the most part. Especially Game 3. Game 3, they sat on their lead and we couldn't do anything. So, we have to start this game good. And how do the first 10 minutes go, you may ask? How do they go? Tampa Bay puts up 2 freaking goals, which I guess is a lot better than Game 3, where they put up 2 goals in 5 minutes. It took them 10 minutes this time. Good job, Bruins. Good freaking job. Way to start on time again, guys. It really is great as a fan watching a team that doesn't show up to play the first half, the first period. The first goal happens very quickly into the game. Rick Nash on the wall with a turnover. Bad pass off the wall by Rick Nash. Okay. Braden Point gets a turnover. Sees that he can take it into the zone. Goes against Chara. Goes past Chara. Tries to push him off the puck. Chara cannot do it. Braden Point basically does a self-pass off of Tuukka's leg. Gets his own rebound and buries it past Tuukka. 1-0 Tampa. So Rick Nash eventually trips Steven Stamkos behind their own net. Iffy call, but I can see why the refs called it. And then on the penalty kill, deep into the penalty kill, Zdeno Chara gets the puck on a backhand. The puck's kind of on edge and lifts it out of play. And that sets the Bruins onto a 5-on-3. They eventually kill it off to make it a 5-on-4. So while they're on this 5-on-4, Hedman, Stamkos, and Kucherov are just passing around the perimeter. And eventually, people sag off Kucherov enough to the point that Hedman can just slide it down, and Kucherov isn't going to miss every shot of the series. Sorry, guys. He's too good of a talent, and Kucherov snipes it over the top right, in the top right-hand corner. You know what I mean. It goes right over Tuukka's shoulder. No chance for Tuukka. It's a bullet, and the Tampa Bay Lightning go up 2-0 in the first 10 minutes of the game, and, great. It's just freaking great. So eventually in the third period, Anton Strawman goes to the box for chipping Jake DeBrusk. The Bruins go to a 5-on-4 power play, and they really need a goal here. And you just feel like, wow, if they don't score on one of these power plays, because they already failed to convert on the Yanni Gourde penalty, they will not come back in this game if they cannot convert on the power play tonight. Tampa's defense is just too good. So on the power play, David Pastrnak gets at the point, does great work taking it around the zone, skating behind the net, gives it to Marchand at the faceoff circle, then gives it to Krug at the point. Krug takes a slap shot, rips it, and while this is all happening, David Pastrnak is finding his way to the back post. He's creeping. So the slap shot by Torrey Krug pops up in the air off Vasilevsky. Is coming down. And David Pastrnak with the ungodly hand-eye rips it the second it touches the ice. The amount of hand-eye on this guy is filthy to be able to pick this out. One of the better goals you're going to see, like for reaction standpoint. And the Bruins cut back the lead. 2-1 Tampa. But, the momentum started to change here. The momentum started to change in Boston's favor. So the Bruins would head into the second period down by 1. And the Bruins would have a great second period. They'd outshoot the Bolts 14-4. And that's good and all. But they only got 1 goal. And you may be saying, well, they tied the game. Well, yes, but when you have your best period like this and you only score 1 goal, it's tough because you really want to score another one and get a lead when you play this good in a period. You only allow them 4 shots. That's like 1 every 5 minutes, which is very good in hockey. So you would hope that we would come out with a lead with this type of result, but we only get 1 goal. Let me go over how this goal happened. So Pastrnak from his own zone makes a great move around Ryan McDonough to beat him, and this leaves him with a 1-on-1 against Tyler Johnson. Pastrnak makes a nice move and forces Johnson to trip him. Johnson clearly trips him, and this leads to a Bruins power play. Now on the Bruins power play, Torrey Krug would eventually get the puck in the neutral zone. He would then carve his way in between about 4 Lightning defenders, all 4 of the players on the ice for the Lightning, and make a great find of Patrice Bergeron on the boards. Torrey Krug would then go down low onto the red line, the goal line, but below the face-off circle. Bergeron would pass it, a give and go basically, and Bergeron would cut to the slot, and Torrey Krug passes it back. And Bergeron rips home the one-timer far post, beating Andrei Vasilevsky. And, that would tie the game 2-2, and that is great, because now the momentum is in Boston's favor. But like I said, they can only score 1 goal off of this momentum, and heading to the third, you're hoping you can only carry over this momentum from the second. So we move on to the third period, and nothing really happens until about 5 minutes into the period. Noel Acciari gets called for hooking on Victor Hedman. So they show the replay, and this is a very weak call. But I'm not mad because it leads to something that's very good. But this is setting a standard for what a hooking call is for the rest of the game. Hopefully we won't have any controversial calls coming up, but let's talk about what this penalty eventually leads to that's positive. So Tampa Bay eventually establishes it in the Bruins zone on the power play, working around, getting offense. Kucherov eventually gets a shot from a little outside the slot. This shot, however, misses wide, wraps around the boards, and Alex Killorn picks it up on the boards. But who's on him immediately? The pest himself, Brad Marchand. And Brad Marchand makes a great stick check, steals the puck, creates a 2-on-1 with Patrice Bergeron. But who is this 2-on-1 against? Victor Hedman. And whenever you see this, you're thinking that's 2-on-1.5 with how good and how big of a defenseman Victor Hedman is. So you're a little skeptical of what you're going to get. But if you notice, watching live, Patrice Bergeron is not focused on Victor Hedman. He is focused on getting to the net. And Brad Marchand, like a good quarterback, is looking for Patrice Bergeron to complete his route. So when Patrice Bergeron gets near the net, Brad Marchand throws a through pass to him, and Patrice Bergeron's there, and he tips it in, and the Bruins take a 3-2 lead over Tampa Bay. These guys can be taken down, guys, and we are going to head to Game 4, right? We're going to head to Game 4. Short-handed goal, Garden's jumping, everyone's happy, we're dominating play. What could go wrong? So about 7 minutes, 11 seconds left in the third period. Tampa Bay dumps into the Boston zone, and Charlie McAvoy, one of the more sure-handed defensemen in the AHL, picks up the puck behind the net with Kucherov trailing him. But McAvoy is very good at leading the rush, and he should have no problem getting out of here. So then Nikita Kucherov hooks Charlie McAvoy from the side and hits him down with his offhand as well. And I'm looking at the ref, looking for the call. JT Miller touches the puck. No call. JT Miller then slides the puck into the slot where Steven Stamkos, who when Steven Stamkos is like this, you get a little worried. Steven Stamkos goes from here all the way to there, and the puck is past Tuukka, top right corner. Nothing Tuukka can do, but where's the call? So I'm going to take a quick second to complain about the refs because I don't want to focus on this too much. I'll talk about it a little in the post-game talk. But here's the problem I have. If you're going to call that hooking call on Achari that you called earlier in the period when he hooked Victor Hedman, which that rarely ever gets called, this one is a lot more obvious and a lot easier to call, and it leads to a scoring chance which goes past Tuukka. Now, the scoring chance doesn't really matter because Kucherov is on his back with one hand and hooking him with the other. It is clear as day this is a hook. McAvoy isn't diving on purpose, Tampa fans. He just isn't in his own zone like that. Not happening. He doesn't lose an edge. This is caused by Kucherov, clear as day. Needs to be called. It's a shame that the refs couldn't be consistent on an obvious call like this. The thing that sucks even more about this non-call is that not only does it lead to Tampa tying the game 3-3, it switches momentum up, and Tampa really controls the play for the rest of the game. And that's no excuse, and you can't really blame the refs for that. But you can blame the refs for that because without that, the momentum probably doesn't change and the Bruins can hopefully hold on to the win. But who knows what happens. But so Tampa closes out the third, playing a little bit better, and we head to overtime where anything can happen. New game, basically. So Alex Killorn eventually gets the puck at the point. He does a give and go to Yanni Gourde. Yanni Gourde then gives it to Killorn. Killorn goes to net, throws it towards the net, hits off Giannis skate, then hits off Giardi's stick and into the net. And the Bruins lose 4-3, go down 3-1 in the series. And things are not looking good over here. Things are not looking good on this side of the fence, guys. As much as I want to complain about the referees, there is no excuse for this. You had a whole entire intermission between the third and overtime to kill the momentum that Tampa had, and you didn't do it. Tampa Bay came out, and they were controlling the play in the overtime. They got deep in our zone and had a lot of zone time before that goal happened, and you just didn't show up with your best game in overtime, and when that happens, you're going to lose a lot of hockey games. So let's think about the outlook of the Bruins. You are now down 3-1 in the series. You steal Game 5 in Tampa. You can definitely win Game 6 at home. But can you then do all of that and win Game 7 in Tampa as well? Probably not, but let's have a little optimism here. Because it is very possible and has happened in the past. This series is not over, and you gave Tampa a pretty good run for their money. You could argue Boston was the better team in the game, except for the start of the game, the first 10 minutes, and the last 10 minutes of third and overtime. But the whole in-between part played a pretty good game. If you can show up and start early next game and really show up and actually want to play for the first 10 minutes before you're down in urgent care, basically, at that point, urgent condition, you probably have a good chance of winning a game if you can start it good. As Tampa shows you, if you start good, you can win a game, as you did in game 1 as well. So how do I feel? Not good. I don't feel confident. You probably shouldn't if you're a Bruins fan, but you should be optimistic because we've seen comebacks, and all it takes is a really big game 5 to really kick Tampa's ass and take momentum over. Okay, that's about all I have time for today. Now, if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button under this video. You see I got the blue Band-Aid, Finding Dory Band-Aid. Pretty cool guy over here. If you really like me and you like my video, please hit the subscribe button on this channel. I cover all things Bruins. If you want to follow me on my Bruins Twitter account, the link will be down below in the description. You want to follow me or subscribe to me on my other YouTube channel where I'm going to do live streams during sporting events. Click the link down below. That will lead you to that channel. That's about all I have time. Thank you for watching my video. I will see you next time for Game 5 in Tampa Bay at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Peace.